Hello everyone, thank you for allowing me to present my AUR 2020 lecture virtually, all thanks to the COVID pandemic. Today I'll be speaking about my career development journey to my current position in the Office of Faculty Affairs. I have no disclosures relevant to this presentation. I'll be focusing on three main areas in my presentation, namely, understanding the purpose and activities that occur in an Office of Faculty Affairs, the importance of recognizing growth opportunities, and understanding self-advocacy and self-development, particularly as they pertain to opportunities for leadership roles. Let's look first at the functions of an Office of Faculty Affairs. How many of you are aware that there are two main arms to matters pertaining to faculty at an academic medical center? My guess is that many of you are unfamiliar with this concept. I certainly was when I first became involved in faculty development. So what's the difference? Simply put, the main difference between the two offices is that, by and large, offices of faculty affairs traditionally deal with faculty governance, appointments, and promotions. And faculty development is more focused on creating support for faculty and developing and administering programming that will provide faculty with skills needed to succeed and advance in their careers and to progress in their academic rank. To look at this in greater depth, these are some of the activities of an Office of Faculty Affairs in a traditional setting. However, it's important to note that there is no uniformity across academic institutions as to which of these functions the Office of Faculty Affairs, or OFA, performs and which are done by different offices at the departmental level. Some institutions, Offices of Faculty Affairs, provide administrative support for appointments and promotions. They're involved in faculty policies, contracts and letters of appointment, bylaws, and other faculty governances and grievance proceedings. As an example of how diverse offices of faculty affairs are, take a look at some of the activities that the Office of Faculty Affairs at my institution performs. Largely, we provide administrative support for the appointments and promotions processes. We keep a database of faculty appointment information, and we provide website information and resources for faculty. Contrast this to the responsibilities of a traditional Office of Faculty Development. Offices of Faculty Development are often responsible for mentoring programs, programs for women and minorities, orientation, career planning, scientific ethics, fellowships, and teaching and research skill development. Again, programs vary between institutions. At our institution, our Office of Faculty Affairs is largely responsible for the mentoring programs, orientation, and for providing career planning and guidance. In blue, I've highlighted activities that are performed by a subsidiary of our office for the Women in Medicine, and they provide programming for women and minorities, and the Office of Education is involved with the teaching, research, and clinical skill development programming. So as you can see, there's a lot of overlap, and it should be noted that many offices of faculty development and faculty affairs coexist under one large umbrella office. So now that we've discussed a little bit about what the Office of Faculty Affairs does, let's look at why or how a radiologist might end up working there. It's certainly not a traditional path for a radiologist, and I can assure you that I did not graduate from my residency saying that I wanted to be part of an Office of Faculty Affairs. So how did I end up in my current role? Well, the answer to that lies in the next part of our discussion, which is recognizing opportunities for leadership roles. I should also add here that it's not just recognizing opportunity, it's being willing to see a role that you want and to make the opportunity for yourself. So we'll touch on that when we discuss self-advocacy. How many of you want or expect a straight road and smooth sailing to get you to your goals? How many of you have a specific destination in mind? That may be a title or a dream job, or maybe an activity that brings you satisfaction. Straightforward and easy, right? Not so easy. For me, my career path kind of looked a little bit like this. Lots of unexpected twists and turns, convoluted ways to get where I was going. But now I realize that that's exactly the path I needed to take to figure out what I really wanted to do and what I was passionate about. And I learned very valuable skills along the way from each different step in my career path. And I think that that's very important to recognize, is you have to be open to learning from all of the activities and all of the experiences along the way to your real final destination. So there are three important components to my trip. And I'm going to spend most of my time on self-awareness and passion, since I think that that's the most important step. We don't have time to get into all of this, but there are several well-validated personality type assessments that I really strongly suggest that you look into. The most well-known of these is the Myers-Briggs personality type assessment, which we'll discuss briefly in a moment, and also the Clifton Strength Finder. It's important to know that your background and experiences will impact how you perceive and respond to situations. For example, if you've been the underdog your whole life, your first response to a challenging situation might be to put up your fists, cock your chin, and be ready to battle. Whereas someone who was the captain of the football team might approach this with a lens of self-management and conflict resolution and teamwork. You can help with your own self-awareness by reading self-development and leadership books and articles, or attending leadership and self-development courses. Self-reflection is very important to your own growth, so that you understand all of the factors that are making you make decisions. And lastly, self-awareness involves having what I call your tribe or your posse. And this is a group of people who will perform reflective listening for you and give you honest feedback that maybe you don't always want to hear, but is very necessary, and they will support you. So just a word again on the Myers-Briggs type indicator. This is a personality type indicator which has been validated, and it states that there are 16 distinct personality types, which are made up of 4 sets of pairs: extrovert and introvert, sensing and intuition, thinking and feeling, and judging and perceiving. Really what this helps you to do is to understand yourself and your responses to situations. By understanding your personality and that of others, you can learn why they respond and why you respond differently to the same situation. Understanding this helps you to see their perspective and to learn to navigate a situation by taking all types of reactions into account. And by also understanding your personality type, you can use it to help direct your career choices. I put up this slide as an example of some of the books that I have used to improve my own self-awareness and emotional intelligence. You certainly can improve these. They are not inherent to everybody, and some need a little bit more time to develop emotional intelligence and self-awareness than others. And I strongly recommend reading any or all of these books. And I'm also a very big fan of TED Talks on these topics. Well, how about self-reflection? By using what I've learned in my background reading, I started to do some serious self-reflection about my personality, my strengths and my weaknesses, my self-erected barriers to success, my responses to situations, and where my true passions resided. Once I really understood myself, I was able to start looking for ways to align my passions with my day job. That led me to focus on education, trainee development, and faculty development, and that was the beginning of my current road. I just think these quotes say it best. Do what you love and love what you do. That's passion. Learn to say no to the good so you can say yes to the best. That's self-awareness. Understanding what it is that is good for you may not be what's best for you, and don't just take the first opportunity that comes along for a leadership role if it does not align with your interests and your passions. Wait until that ideal job comes along. And passion is the difference between having a job and having a career. I discovered through my journey that what I am most passionate about is having impact on my trainees, having impact on the careers of others. And that has really helped me to understand where the next phase of my career is going. So how do I apply what I learned in my self-awareness journey when the rubber hits the road? How do I get into a position to leverage my skills and my passions? Well, that's where opportunity comes in. So my opportunity to follow my passion came in the form of Bay State's new affiliation with the University of Massachusetts Medical School in 2015. This affiliation led to the development of an Office of Faculty Affairs, which we had never previously had at the institution. The new associate dean of that office met with members of each department, and she offered opportunities for one-on-one meetings with the academic leaders of each department, and my role as a residency program director, that was me. I was very lucky in that the associate dean was able to see my passion and my interest in faculty development and academic advancement. We continued to meet monthly, and when it came time to expand her office, she offered me a role and became a mentor and a sponsor. And that's the third leg of this stool, sponsorship. What is a sponsor? A sponsor is someone who's going to put their reputation on the line in support of your career and your development. They're the risk takers. They're a person of influence. They're someone who is willing to put themselves out there in support of your career. And it's important to recognize that you need both sponsors and mentors. One of the ways that I look at this is that a mentor will give you a nudge up your career ladder, while the sponsor will pull you up to the top rung. And you need your heroes to come along and save the day, to see your values and to give you a chance. And for me, that was the Associate Dean of the Office of Faculty Affairs. But you also have to realize that sometimes you need to be that hero for yourself and make your own opportunities. And that's where the self-advocacy part comes in. How many of you feel like this? You see a position you want and expect that it's going to be given to you because of all of the good work you've done. Wrong. That's particularly true for women who wait and wait and wait and expect that they're going to be given opportunities or be selected for a position that they want simply because of their prior performance. That does not happen. Women in particular do not realize that self-advocacy is important. For example, even though I was already in this position in the Office of Faculty Affairs, I had to ask to be made a vice chair of my own department in the role of the Vice Chair of Academic Affairs, and to articulate why I was appropriate for the position and what I would do in the role. That's self-advocacy. And I like this diagram because I think it sums up all of it. A lot of your future and your career is in your own hands. You just need to know how to recognize what you want, which is self-awareness, and how to go after it. Perseverance, grit, determination, goal setting are key ways to getting where you want to go. And you have to advocate for yourself. If you really want a position or an award or a committee role, you need to put yourself out there, ask for it, and show people why you're right for it. And this is very hard for those of us who are introverts, which is many of us in radiology. This is where your determination to get what you want outweighs your natural reluctance to put yourself out there to get it. So this is my secret magic formula to my journey to the Office of Faculty Affairs. Passion, commitment, a pinch of grit, a tablespoon of drive led to the impact that I wanted to get into a position that really matched my interests and aligned with who I am and where I want to go. And with that, I thank you for your attention.